I'm B Monarch. It's such a privilege to meet you today because I waited more than 40 years to have this conversation with you. I've known since I was 3 years old that I'm alive at this exact time to do something very specific, but I didn't do it for the next 40-something years because I just wanted to be normal, like all the wonderful people around me, until 2 Tibetan saints gave me an ultimatum last summer in August 2019. So this is my story. This is why I started this channel, why I started teaching meditation finally. And most importantly, I want to know about your story, your journey, and all about you. So please comment. Throughout the year I turned 3, I used to look at the back of my hand, look up at the sky, and think, oh, I'm alive. It was a very old and disappointed voice that said, oh, I'm alive. Like I had not done what I came to do before, and here I am again. I have to do it this time. What's that thing I'm supposed to do? We're about to find out. One part of me lived what looked like a very normal life on the outside. I was an investment fund executive. I was a consultant to the investment and banking industries, and I had a few very small ventures. I'm not wealthy. The other part of me that's known to far fewer people started to learn meditation from forest monks in 1997. There was no religion involved. The first thing the monks taught me was not to believe what they say or what anyone else says just because someone has a big title or wore certain types of clothes. They taught me how to use certain profound tools, and they instructed me to use those tools and see for myself what life is all about. And I went ahead and did just that. I've had intensive periods of meditation practice in the forest since then, for between a few weeks to 8 months, a year in the forest. I started off practicing with some of the strictest, most well-trained forest monks in the world. And they helped me build a strong foundation, unshakable. And a little later on, I started practicing in the forest all on my own. I realized that not many women, especially in my tradition, are allowed to go into the forest all by themselves. So I feel extremely fortunate that my teachers allowed me to go off on my own. The intensive practice periods were very demanding. They often started at 3 a.m., sometimes earlier, and the day was fully scheduled until 10 p.m., sometimes later. There were formal meditation sessions throughout the day, and I always sat for 3 hours at a stretch. I also had conversations with my teacher. I had yoga asana sessions. I had laundry and those kinds of practical things to attend to. We always ate just one meal a day. The aim isn't to lose weight or to diet or to torture ourselves or anything like that. The aim is to keep our minds, our emotions, our bodies, and our physiology clear and strong so that we can go a lot deeper and get a lot more results from our meditation practice. In 2004, I had a very significant meditation experience that I eventually discovered was one of the big milestones. It was so intense and changed my internal landscape so much that I didn't tell anyone about it for 9 months. It took that long for me to tell even the teacher I worked most closely with and another senior monk. They told me that I had gone where most people don't go, and I was surprised because I thought I was the last person to get there. Oh yes, the first years were a huge struggle. What happened after that? Well, I got on the plane as scheduled, stepped off the plane, and took up my responsibilities again. And from that moment on, my work with meditation was to integrate the fruits of meditation with daily life to become a lot more resilient through the ups and downs of life. I did that quietly for many years, and I would have been really happy to stay quiet for the rest of my life until I was struck by 2 Tibetan saints last summer. In 2019, I felt like I had to go to Mount Kailash in Tibet. Mount Kailash is a sacred mountain for 4 religions in the world. I don't follow any religion, so this wasn't a pilgrimage for me. It was just a trip I had to take. So I went to Mount Kailash in August 2019, and it was a very difficult journey happening at about 20,000 feet above sea level. On the most challenging day when we were climbing up the mountain pass, I felt like I couldn't go on. I just felt like I was going to die, even though I'm well accustomed to high altitudes. At that moment, one of the major Tibetan saints, his name is Padmasambhava, the Tibetans see him as their second Buddha. Padmasambhava appeared and he chanted to me in the deepest voice, so deep that it felt like everything inside of me was shaking, and everything turned into light, and I was okay, and I could complete the journey. This is all very surprising because I'm not Buddhist, I'm not Tibetan, and I don't chant. The day after that, I was meditating in the cave of another major Tibetan saint, Milarepa. While I was in that cave meditating, I suddenly, automatically said, I accept my power and my responsibility. And then I said, what? Who said that? I didn't say that. What power? What responsibility? I don't have any power, by the way. From that moment on, I knew that a lot in my life had to change, and I knew that I had to share with other people the path that I've walked that's given me so very much. The path that has changed my internal landscape so completely that I'm no longer the same person that I was when I started in 1997. The path that's kept my internal weather, so to speak, constant, fairly constant through the ups and downs of life. The path that's given me a certain clarity and sharpness of mind and stability of emotions, no matter what happens. I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm saying relatively constant compared with what I was before. 9 months later, when I was meditating at home, I had a vision that came in one flash, and it showed me how to execute this thing that I've been aware of since I was 3 years old that I'm supposed to do. What is it that I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to help other people rediscover the resilience that we've always had. What is resilience? It's so key to what I do that I've made a separate video and written an article to explain what resilience means. The links to those are in the description. If I had to say what resilience is in one sentence, it would be this: having an internal landscape that stays fairly constant through life's vicissitudes, life's many storms, ups and downs, tornadoes, occasionally tsunamis, highs and lows. There's a precise way to get there, and I've walked this path for more than 20 years, since 1997, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Most importantly, remember to comment and talk about your own journey, your path, your experience, and ask questions. I'd love to be able to answer your questions. I've planned many episodes for this channel, which is about rediscovering our resilience. And I look forward to talking to you again very soon. At the back of this painting is a blessing written by a monk who was in the family who owned this painting. Years after I got this painting, I discovered that the blessing was the chant of Padmasambhava, the saint who came to rescue me when I almost died at Mount Kailash.